Yes.
So space bar, yeah.
That time the back arrow worked, so it might. Yeah.
Oh,
Check
there we
the
are.
space bar to
Okay.
take it up.
Here we go. I've got even less time now. So
Nice.
who are we? The Essex and Suffolk Rivers Trust. We were formed in 2013 by a group of enthusiasts, people that wanted to do more for the river, to make an improvement to the river, who had an interest in the river. We were primarily formed through groups of volunteers. People who wanted to get involved in making sure the rivers were clean, making sure the rivers were the best they can be. And the group are from a wide range of, or were from a wide range of activities. They were from industry, they were from water companies, agriculture, landowners, government regulators. So we had really huge amount of support when we started, and we've still got that support, and we're growing. And importantly, it's becoming more prominent now. We're part of a national rivers trust, which is an overarching organisation that we all feed into around our local areas. So the National Rivers Trust covers the UK, and we're covering Suffolk and Essex. So we go from Lowestoft all the way down to Southend. So a huge area, and then obviously out towards Cambridgeshire, the Newmarket. So we cover a huge area, and unfortunately, there's only 3 of us to do that. And we probably punch quite a lot above our weight. Many of us are ex-professionals who work for the Environment Agency or worked in consultancy, private sector, or the charity sector. So we've got a good handle on what's needed. We've got a good handle on what the issues are. We offer advice similar to the Wildlife Trust. We offer education to landowners. We offer opportunities for grant funding. We can be a conduit for funding for opportunities to improve rivers, and we can offer project management support, which is crucial. We host the East Suffolk Catchment Partnership, and we also host, and it used to be the Essex Wildlife Trust hosting, but we've taken it on now. The Essex Catchment Partnership, also known as the Essex River Hub. The River Hub is it's a forum where lots of like-minded organisations, and 3 of the members in the room today, but it's made up of a multitude of organisations, including water companies, including environmental groups, local authorities, who are all involved and all want to do better for the river. And we're just working on updating our website to make it a little more sort of interactive. So please do keep your eyes peeled for that. So what do the Rivers Trust and the Catchment Partnership do? Well, primarily we focus on making the rivers better. We look at restoring natural processes to the rivers. So where over time rivers have been modified through agricultural activity, human activity, navigation, we want to try and reinstall natural processes. So promoting the floodplains, the use of those to manage the waters, greening up the areas, promoting natural river corridors, natural wildlife corridors. Rivers are a natural wildlife corridor. Physical restoration, so this means we will go in and actually make those modifications. So for instance, Darren's doing a lot of work on fish removal. Barriers to fish migration. Yeah, that's completely different. Barriers to fish migration. By taking down weirs, and we're looking at doing that as well. We do that in Suffolk, and we're looking at doing it in supporting Darren's work in Essex as well, which helps to allow the continuity of wildlife through river systems. And we also look at pollution, which is obviously a big thing at the moment. It's pretty much the main focus of many groups at the moment, to improve our water quality. We also look at riparian habitats, so the floodplain habitat, creating scrapes of wildlife, managing runoff. So that the picture on the top right is Layer Brook, and this is where we've been working with landowners to reduce the amount of sediment that goes into the watercourses. Sediment into watercourses isn't a great thing because it can smother the habitats that are there. And if it's coming off a farmer's field, particularly when we get having more and more higher flows, higher rainfalls, that sediment can go into the water, not only cause turbidity, but it can cause big issues with habitat and wildlife that relies on it. And of course, we've got a good group of volunteers. And if anyone in the room or online wants to volunteer, please do either visit the River Hub website or speak to Darren at the Wildlife Trust. They've got a lot of volunteering going on. And we've got a lot of volunteering going on as well. We do beach cleans, we do river cleans, we ask people to jump in the river if they're capable and happy to do river enhancements. We do invasive species control. So Himalayan balsam, for instance, we go out this time of year and we're actually physically pulling Himalayan balsam. We're walking at the moment, we've got a focus on the Stour catchment. We've got groups of volunteers that have put their hands up saying, yes, we want to come and do some management of that. The reason Himalayan balsam is not so great, it's great for bees, absolutely fantastic for bees, but the problem is it's become so dominant on banks that it can cause erosion issues, particularly in the winter, because the balsam is out competing native plants, leaves the banks bare in the winter. The winter flows come along and it just puts more sediment into the system. Okay, so bigger picture on our rivers. So Lucy alluded to this earlier. So 0% of our rivers are achieving good overall health. Okay, so none of our rivers in the UK are achieving good health. The UK government's target is for 75% to reach good health, and we're not achieving that. 99% of rivers have artificial barriers going across them, preventing migration, preventing that wildlife continuity up river systems. And quite shockingly, and this is a global figure, 83% of our freshwater species globally, we've basically lost 83% of our freshwater species globally, which is a massive figure. And that does include this country as well. And of course, we can't talk about rivers without talking about sewage, which is obviously high on the profile of everyone. I think possibly Mandatory Mermaid representative here is going to talk a little bit about that, so I'm not going to really cover it at all. But all I can say is that we're working on it with the water companies, with other groups, to try and make things better. The water companies, particularly Anglian Water, have a commitment to make things better. They've been told under the Environment Act to make things better. So they are looking to make things better. And at the end of this, if I've got time, I'll show you their commitment. So river quality. So this is looking at ecological quality. 4%, 4 out of 70 rivers under the WFD Water Framework Directive, which is the government legislation that they use to monitor the quality of rivers. So 4 out of all the rivers, the 70 water bodies within Essex are reaching or achieving a good ecological status. Ecological status is assessed by the numbers of fish in there, the numbers of aquatic bugs roaming around on the bed, and then the weed, the type of weeds that are in there, and the amount of algae that's in there. So all these things are assessed. Also, they look at some chemical qualities, so biological oxygen demand, ammonia, temperature, phosphates. Phosphates are generally linked to sewage works, but also agriculture, and that can have a real impact on algae within water quality. And also the hydrological regime, and that basically means how much flow is going through and how natural is the system. So we're pretty much moderate for the majority of everything. We've got 4 achieving good. We've got 14 that are poor, 14 watercourses of poor status, and they're the ones we need to focus on. When it says moderate, that isn't actually all that bad. You know, it's not good, but it's good enough for fish to survive, for bugs to survive, for the plants to survive, to have a good ecosystem, for water voles to be present, for kingfishers to be present. It means that it's achieving a reasonable state, but the aim is to reach good. The reason that I said that 0% water bodies are achieving overall good status is because chemically none of the rivers in the UK are achieving good status. They're all failed. And the reason for this is because this thing called, you'll probably hear more and more about this, forever chemicals. These are chemicals that stay for a huge amount of time in our systems. Their official title is ubiquitous priority hazardous substances. And they include ones that I've put on the screen. The most prominent one, and the one you'll probably hear more and more about, is a thing called PFAS, fluorooctane sulfonate. Bit of a mouthful. These are things that have been used in manufacturing processes. They're water repellents, they're grease repellents, stain repellents. So Scotch Guard, for instance, and in firefighting on airports. These things are getting into our waterways, and it's quite a big issue. Many of these have been banned, but a lot of the PFAS chemicals haven't been banned, and we need to start thinking about how that could be managed. Just to give you an idea, so this is excluding all those forever chemicals. This is how our rivers look. All the green means everything's hunky-dory. So in 2015, everything was hunky-dory, apart from the River Brain, which had an issue with some pesticides. In 2019, they introduced forever chemicals into the analysis, into the Water Framework Directive as part of the measures. That instantly turned the whole country red. All water courses were failing. Okay, so what can we do about it? Well, many of them have been banned. Many of them are still being used. There are safer replacements for them. So we need to think about how can we influence people to use these safer replacements. And just so you know, there have been studies. This isn't sort of made up. There's been studies. Studies have shown that there are up to 12 different types of PFAS chemicals, forever chemicals, have been found in UK otters. This can have an impact on survival rates, birth rates, stress, and it can also have an impact on their risk of disease. Porpoises, risk of disease up to 41% due to chemical buildup of these forever chemicals. So they're out there. Most of it is historic, but some of it is still there. So it's just really raising your awareness of these issues. And they're all in our Essex rivers. They're all in the rivers around the country. So how can we help? Well, there's various citizen science programs going on. So logging information, logging data, keeping an eye on water courses is crucial. Essex River Hub is running a pilot citizen science program where we're looking at sediment, we're looking at water quality, And we're also doing. Darren's going to talk about River Champions that they run. And again, is crucial stuff because it's collecting data and information. And this, we don't know how important this information is that we're going to be collecting. On the 22nd and 24th of September, that weekend, the Rivers Trust is running a big river walk. So it's a bit like the big bird watch, but it's specifically for rivers, okay? And it's just a series of questions, takes about 10 minutes to do. And all you have to do is look over a bridge and fill it in on your phone or print off a paper form and send that in. And then there's other things like Surface Against Sewage, million mile clean. So this is beach cleanups. You can volunteer to do those. I don't think there's any in this area at the moment. However, they do have the River Care and Beach Care East Anglia program. So that's probably why, because people are doing that rather than the Surfing Against Sewage version. But you can check those out online. If you want to do river cleans, beach cleans, please do go to that website and check it out. And importantly, we want about the chemical cocktail campaign. And this is a final address rubber chemicals. And at the moment, there's the opportunity to join in a joint letter to the government through the Rivers Trust website and all these other partners that are involved, the Wildlife Trust, National Trust, etc. Raise profile and ask them, rethink about the chemicals that are being used, the chemicals that are in the rivers, that are finding their way in the rivers, and how they can be banned from use and how they can promote the safer versions of these substances being used in industry. So I hope that's sort of informed you a little bit about a bit of issues. Now I thought I'd just put this up at the end because this is Anglian Water's commitment to making rivers better. This is their Get Rivers Positive commitment. So ensure storm overflows and sewage treatment works do not harm rivers. That's fantastic. Let's hope they can do that. They've got a commitment to do it. Create more opportunities for everyone to enjoy our region's rivers, support others to improve and care for rivers. We're actually working with Anglian Water, so that's happening. The Wildlife Trust, I think you're working with Anglian Water as well. So we're all working together, especially through the catchment partnership. Enhance our rivers and create new habitat. Again, we're doing that. Be open sometimes on behalf of Anglian Water, sometimes we're doing it ourselves. Be open and transparent about our performance and our plans. If you go online, there's on their website, they will show you all the leaks, all the discharges they have of sewage, what their plans are for improvements to the sewage works. It's all there on their website. It takes a little bit of finding. They're picking it quite well, but it's worth having a quick look. Okay, I think that's me done.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Absolutely excellent.